Howdy folks, it is Diecast Buffet here again. Hamlin wins at Dover in a pretty interesting finish between Kyle Larson and Hamlin. We almost had a rematch of Kansas or Pocono from last year. Make sure to pre-order that Diecast, a race to win. It's going to be a brand new paint scheme for Hamlin with the new look on there. So if you're a Hamlin fan, go ahead and pre-order that. They'll probably offer it in the 1/64 scale. Feel free to go ahead and use that promo code at Circle Diecast and you could save on shipping. So anyways, let's go ahead and talk about Dover, the whole race weekend, and what do I honestly think about it. Now, personally, I love Dover. I think it's one of my favorite racetracks on the schedule because it's fast. It races like a 1.5 mile, but it has just that 1 mile distance. And the ARCA race was fantastic. My hair's a mess. I apologize. But the ARCA race was fun. The Xfinity race was an absolute classic. I mean, one moment Cole Custer's going to win it, and it's raining, and the crew chief's already celebrating, it feels like. And then we're like, nope, get back going. And then it looked like Austin Hill is going to win it. Carson Quapple going to win it. And then sure enough, Ryan Truex wins it. It was one of the best Xfinity races I have ever watched. I will admit the Cup Series race was worse than last year. I do think they need to make some work on the tires. They need to bring like a little bit of a softer tire to get them to wear more. I think that would have been a nice touch. Bring the Bristol tire. I could care less. Let's do it. Anyways, it was still a million times better, in my honest opinion, than Richmond, Martinsville, probably New Hampshire, probably Gateway, North Wilkesboro, you name it. It is probably a million times more interesting. I would say it's probably the worst next-gen Dover race, but to me, I still love Dover. I still believe it deserves 2 race dates. I really should have just wore a hat. That would have been a lot easier. But I think it definitely deserves 2 race dates. The Xfinity race alone was fantastic. Whenever the trucks used to race there, they were fantastic. I mean, I love Dover. I really do. A great crowd there. Lots of fun racing. I love it. I genuinely love it. This is one of my favorite portions of the schedule because we just had Talladega. That was a lot of fun. Dover, we just had that. A lot of fun. And then we have Kansas coming up. That's a lot of fun. Darlington. Woo. And then we're just gonna pretend North Wilkesboro doesn't exist because the racing's probably gonna be really bad. At least in my honest opinion. And then let's go to Charlotte, which is one of my favorite weekends all year long. So like the month of May in NASCAR is one of the best because there's so many great races outside the All-Star race, which don't even get me started on the All-Star race. Oh boy. But yeah, overall, Dover, it needs a little bit of a softer tire. It needs some more tire wear. I think that would help it a lot. It's fast. It's fun. The cars are hard to control when you have that, on-edge ability. It's not the racetrack's fault. It's the next-gen car, but it could have been better. I enjoyed it. I really did. I would rather see a Dover race like today where there wasn't an extreme amount of, passing for the lead. There was a long green flag run kind of feel to the whole race. I would rather watch a race like that than them go to Richmond and run pretty much 200-lap practice sessions. But I don't even remember how long the stages were, but that's how it felt. It felt like a practice session that was televised. Martinsville, how bad that race was. Road course racing even. I mean, COTA nearly put me to sleep. Like, I regret not watching football and watching COTA. Like, literally, I could have had more entertainment watching a football game from 15 years ago, a preseason football game from 15 years ago than watching COTA this year. So, I enjoyed Dover. I don't know how y'all feel about it. I haven't checked the comments yet. I just jumped into just filming this. I will say, though, if they would have had a better tire that could have worn a little bit, maybe Larson could have caught Hamlin and maybe we could have got a fantastic finish. That would have been interesting. I mean, Hamlin probably would have still won it because I imagine Larson would have maybe tried to knock him up the track or at least race him side by side. Hamlin had a great car. Clean air is definitely worth the 10th or 2. But yeah, it was a fun race. I enjoyed it. Not the best one, but definitely way better than what we could have had if we were at like Watkins Glen, which I love Watkins Glen, but not cup racing. I mean, Cup road courses, Cup short tracks, I could care less. You could take them off the schedule. I could care less anymore. They're that bad to watch right now, at least until they fix their rules package. And speaking of rules package, there was this announcement of the All-Star format for 2024, and they're trying a different tire combo. So they're going back to, I think, Charlotte 2018, 2017, where they're giving the teams the option of running two different tires. So you could run a normal tire, or you could run one that's softer and it wears faster. It sounds great on paper, but here's the thing about the All-Star race a lot of people don't want to admit, so to speak, is a lot of teams just don't try. They literally just don't try, as I keep messing with my hair because why not? They literally just don't try at the All-Star race because there's no incentive. The All-Star race pretty much pays the same as it did 20 years ago. Everything else on the face of the earth has went up since 20 years ago. When you take a $400,000 race car, because you got to consider the R&D, the testing, the crew, the engineers, all the experimental BS you got to put on these cars, the thousands of hours of R&D and simulation work, someone's got to pay for it. And you put all that into one car, and then you crash it. That's $400,000 worth of crap that's pretty much down the drain just about. I ran out of memory for my filming. That's always fun. Anyways, what I'm saying is that it doesn't make sense for the teams to go and invest a heavily large amount into a car that they could potentially crash and only the winner truly gets paid. Now, I think all the charter teams do get a cut of the pie, but what I'm getting at, there's no playoffs, there's no points. The All-Star race, to me, I know it's taboo. I know it's not what people want to hear. The All-Star race has ran its course. It really has. I mean, there's a reason why the NBA All-Star game looks like a joke. The Pro Bowl? Yeah. I mean, All-Star games have really ran their course. I'm just going to keep it real. Like, I don't care for the All-Star race anymore. I used to. On paper, it sounds fantastic. In a video game, it's fantastic. But in real life, they don't try. You get the lead, you mind your P's and Q's, and you take the check and you go home. There's a reason why they'll race 10 times harder into turn 1 at Pocono, turn 1 at Michigan, 200 miles per hour type tracks than they will the entire All-Star race at North Wilkesboro, most likely. So my honest opinion on it, it's kind of like putting lipstick on a pig, so to speak. It's still a pig. That's really kind of how it feels. I don't expect the All-Star race to be great. I expect the trucks to be a barn burner, though. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. But I don't expect the All-Star race to be a lot of fun because it's a short track package. Even with a crazy tire, it's an option as well. They don't have to use it. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's great. But as far as I'm concerned, I ain't looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Darlington Throwback Weekend, all that good stuff. But not to get too sidetracked here. I enjoyed Dover. I would love to know what y'all think. Make sure to comment down below. We respect everyone's opinions here on the channel. I know my opinions can be a little bit kind of out of left field, and that's okay. We're a community. We're a family, brother. And I like to hear everyone's thoughts and opinions on the NASCAR weekend. But yeah, that's all for now. Have a blessed one, everybody. Diecast Buffet